So let us start again, no? Just start quickly again. So so this is the analytical engine, the version that you see in Wikipedia. This is the prime ingress axis. It's a set of gears labeled 0 to 9. This is the ingress axis 1. This is ingress axis 2. Okay, and this is the egress axis. And the last column is the prime egress axis. So this is the mill. Okay, imagine you are given a computer like this and you're asked to write a program. No, you could cut a finger here if you make a mistake. Okay, Calio. Okay, you could cut a finger if you make a mistake. No, so yeah, it's like an old fabric sewing machine. Okay, I don't know how it really works. No, it's a complicated set of gears, but Charles Babbage was able to demonstrate it. No? Okay, so ito yon. So these are the commands. No, you have 3 kinds of cards. Now let's look at the example anyway. No, the example is to compute the 4th factorial. You can download the worksheet. No, you can download the worksheet from our Degler site. Ito, luma na. So I have 2 versions of Excel. No? So there are 2 versions of this program, no, which we have discussed yesterday. Last meeting, I'm sorry, without loop and with loop. Can you see the, no? I hope you can see. Let us increase this. I-share ko na lang yung, share the application so that you can see this. Okay. Can you see the worksheet? Uli? Is the worksheet visible on your end? Sorry. Everyone, can you see the worksheet?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. No. This worksheet, you could look at this worksheet like it is the analytical engine. No? What it does is compute the 4th factorial. Okay, so there are 3 parts: the Jacquard's loom, the mill, and the store. No, okay, and I have added a description, no, of what is being used in the store. Okay, so we have a numeric card, and then we have a variable card. Pag L and S are variable cards. They follow. N is a numeric card, which means which stores a number into the store. A particular. What's the difference between S and N? N stores a value. S stores from the egress. They follow? Whatever value in the egress is stored to the store. They follow? Pag S, for the S command. N stores an actual value. So when you say N004, the value 4 is stored in address 000 of the store. Do you follow? When you say N001, 1, we store the value 1 to address 001 of the store. And when you say N002.1, we store the value 1 to address 002 of the store. There are how many stores? 0 to 999 stores, because the design of the Babbage is that the engine can have 1,000 digital numbers. Or no, sorry, decimal numbers. Okay. So in particular, ST00 here is used as the next multiplier. Okay, because when you compute the 4th factorial, you multiply 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, ST001 is the decrement in step, which means that you decrement the current multiplier by this value so that you will get the next multiplier. For example, if the first multiplier is 4, if the current multiplier is 4, the next multiplier is 3. So how do you compute that? You say 4 minus 1. Okay, so 1 is the decrement. And ST002 is the partial product. Partial product, which means it's the product currently in the step. The final product will be the last partial product. Okay, any questions so far? So we have a numeric card and we have an operation card, times. No, the first that comes from times will be stored to ingress axis 1. Okay, so L002. So which means that the value from 002, which is currently 1, will be transferred to ingress axis 1. So this is now 1. Do you follow? Okay, we're trying to do a review here. No? And then we'll say L000. So we have a value of 4 because the value of from 000 is copied to ingress axis 1. And right away, 1 is multiplied by 4. So we will have 4 in the egress axis. Can you still see my ano? I'm not sure if what is
Sir, ang
Hindi pa
screen
makita,
po,
sir.
di ba
yung
makita?
old na ano,
Siya
Excel,
nag-update.
yung old na Excel po.
Sige na lang, i-share ko na lang yung screen, okay?
Sige po, sir.
Because I'm trying to share the application itself, no? Okay, can you now see?
Yes, sir. Visible
Yes,
na
sir.
po.
So N004, ibig sabihin, this means we store a value of 4 at address 00. N0011 means we store a value of 1 here. And N0021, we store a value of 1 here. So 000 is the next multiplier. 001 is the decrement to compute the next multiplier. Partial product 002 is the partial product. For example, to compute the next multiplier, we say 4 minus 1. Okay? And to compute the next partial product, we say 4 times 1. Do you follow? 4 times 1 so that we can get the next partial product. Okay? Do you follow? Are you still here?
Yes, sir.
The first card again is a times. So L002 maging 1. This is 1. This is 4. So we'll have egress will have a 4. Okay, and then when we say S002, the value of the egress axis is transferred to 002. So the next partial product is 4. Do you follow? Okay, and then we compute the next multiplier. We get the current multiplier, which is 4 from ST00. Okay, L00, which means 4 is copied to the ingress axis 1.
Mm-mm.
Do you follow?
Yes, sir.
And then we say L001, this means that 1, which is the decrement, is copied to ingress axis 2. Because this is the second. And since we minus, we say 4 minus 1, 3 is stored to the egress axis. Okay? EX dapat ito eh. Egress axis. Okay, so 3 is copied to the egress axis. And we store it to 0, 0, 0. So the next multiplier is 3. Which means we are now ready for the next step, which is to multiply. So L002 we copy. So L002 is currently what? 002 is currently 4, right? 4. And L00, which is currently 3. Do you follow? If we multiply 4 times 3, we have 12. We store it to 002, which is the next partial product. It becomes 12.
Sir,
Question? Yes?
sa yung D17 po na cell, yung essentially yung mga egress na axis results, dapat sa ano po, sa L001 store or sa L000?
Tingnan ko dapat magkapareha sila sa taas. L002. Dapat magkapareha. Repetition lang ito eh. Di ba? Because 002, what is 002? Our partial product.
Yes.
So, L0, the first partial product is 4. So, ito. Di ba?
Yes.
Which is going to be multiplied to the next multiplier, which is in 000.
My question, sir, is on the egress axis because nakalinya po siya sa ingress axis 2 na, ano, for example,
Yes,
sa...
That's correct because that's how the engine works. Kung ano yung nasa operation card, ilalagay niya kagad. We are assuming that the multiplication is done very quickly.
Okay.
Talagang ganun, even in the new ALUs, right away when you do a plus or a minus, it's done very quickly. Okay? Do you follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's done very quickly. We assume that operations are done very quickly because, of course, computers compute very quickly. Okay, so talagang dito ilagay, okay? 4 times 3, the egress access will happen on the second load. Okay, so we have 12 here, and then we repeat the same process. L00, it's 3 minus 1, it becomes 2. So our next multiplier is 2. We multiply it to the current partial product, which is 12. Let's just do this quickly, no? So and if we effectively will reach the final product of 24, and then we will print the 24. We will ring a bell to tell the sleeping operator, maybe the operator has slept, the sleeping operator, that the process is done, and we issue a halt. Okay, any questions so far?
Sure. I'm just curious, how many like minutes matapos po yung yung
We don't
program?
know because no actual computer was ever assembled.
Okay.
But you can imagine it should be very slow because one, the program is running on the input. Unlike in modern computers nowadays, no, the computers will not run on the input. It will run from memory, right? We will discuss that later, no? It's called the stored program concept. Okay, but the one of the main differences between the first generation and the second generation computers is the stored program concept. Kasi yung mga first generation computers run from the input. They run from the deck of cards. Do you follow? No? Ang mga programs natin ngayon, our programs do not run from the keyboard. Do you follow? They don't run from the disk. They run from memory. Do you follow? Why? Because if you run a program from the input device, it should be very slow. Okay? Because of course, the input device is much slower than memory. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
So you see now, no? There's a main defect in Charles Babbage's design. What is the main defect? The programs run from the input device. Do you follow? Now we will discuss that later, no? That defect. We'd like to do that because we want to show the evolution. Why is the next version like that? Okay, versions upgrade because there are deficiencies in the previous versions. Okay, talagang ganun naman, di ba? Di ba? From Windows 7 to Windows 8 to Windows 10. Yeah. And from Core i3 to another version of Core i3. Yeah. Now, we'd like to take a look at a program that runs a loop, that runs a repetition, because one of the features of computers is they can repeat in cycles, right? Okay, they can repeat in cycles. Now, there are two commands, no, that are included in the instruction set of of Charles Babbage's computer, CF and CB. Okay, CF and CB. CF means count forward. CB means count backward. Okay, do you follow ito yun, no? Can you see that? Okay. So when you say CB question mark 11, count backwards 11. When you say CF question mark 8, you say count forward 8. Do you follow? But the count is a condition. There's a question mark because this is a conditional count. Kasi when you say count, there's a counter. It's a counter on which command is going to be executed. That's called a program counter. Anyway, no? The count can only be executed if the value on the egress axis is set. Yun ang sabi niyan, no? Is set. The count is executed if the value on the egress axis is set. What do we mean by this? No? In computer electronics, when we say a value is set, we mean a non-zero value. Diba? Pag sinabi natin the value is set, we mean the value is not zero. When you say the value is reset, the value equals 0. Do you get my point? No? So it's said that the value should be a set, which means that the last value, which is probably on the egress axis, is a non-zero. Now, in binary computers, when we say set, we mean a value of 1 because there's only one non-zero value in binary numbers, no? But only 1 and 0. So when you say non-zero, there's no other value that's 1. But since the analytical engine is a decimal computer, okay? Remember, the analytical engine is a decimal computer. So when we say a value is set, we mean any value 1 above, as long as it's not 0. Do you follow? No? Okay. Means combinational card, no? That the run-up lever has been set. Okay? Ito ang sabi dito. First, it checks if the run-up lever has been set. Then it moves correspondingly whether forward or backward. Do you follow? Okay? Any questions? Okay. Because we will introduce a second version of the fourth factorial that runs a loop. Now, when it runs a loop, it becomes shorter. Ito na lang yung program, no? I have this is different from the one which is published, no? Because I have modified this, no, to be simpler. In fact, you can modify this according to your own preferences, no? Kasi I still counted from 4 to 1, 4, 3 to 1, okay? Any questions so far? So how did I do that? I'm using memories 00 to 002. 000 is the partial product. Baliktad tayo ngayon, okay? We are on the other side, okay? 001 is the next multiplier and 002 is the decrement. You can interchange, no? It's just like using variables in a program. It doesn't matter. Okay? Do you follow? So this is the whole code. Okay? So take note, we have CB print 8, which means that we count backwards 8 times if the value is set. Do you follow? If the run-up lever is set. Any questions? No? So the initiation of the loop is in this part. And the formal part of the loop is from the times and to the CB. This is the beginning of the loop and this is the end of the loop. Okay? Do you follow? Okay. Any questions? Okay. So first, N0011, the first partial product is 1. N0014, the next multiplier is 4. Do you follow? N0021, the decrement every time is 1. Okay? Do you follow? So the first thing to do is multiply. We will multiply the partial product with the next multiplier. So the next the partial product is in 000. So we have L000. And then the next multiplier is in 001. So we have L001. The result is 4. So we will store 4 is the current partial product. We will store it in 000. So we have S00 which becomes 4. Okay? The first step is to compute the first partial product. The second step is compute the next multiplier, right? So we start with the minus, compute the next multiplier. The current multiplier is 4, so we load it from 001, this becomes 4. And we load it, the decrement by 1. So 4 minus 1, this becomes 3. And we store it to the next multiplier, which is 001. So nandito na tayo. The next multiplier is 001. The current value of the egress is 3. Do you follow? And then we have a check. CB question mark 8, which means first check the run-up lever, which is actually the egress axis. No? Is it a set? Everyone, is the run-up lever or the egress axis a set? Yes or no? Everyone, are you there? Is the run-up lever a set or not? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, why? It's a 3. 3 siya eh. When we say a set, it's non-zero. Do you follow? Which means that at this point, we will not proceed to the next command, which is times. What we will do is we go back 8 counts. CB8. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you follow? So we go back here. Okay. For purposes of demonstration, I cannot write the values here, no? So I'll just have to indicate that this is the first pass. And I'll have to copy the code again. Okay, this is pass number 2. Second pass na ito. But this is the same part, no? This is the same part of the program. Do you follow? Everyone, do you follow? I hope you follow. No, this is the same program, but this is now the second pass. Okay, in the second pass, our partial product is 4. Our next multiplier is 3. Our decrement is still 1. Do you follow, everyone? So ganun pa rin, no? It's just the same thing. We're going through the same program, but the same time, the second pass. L004, we are going to compute the next partial product. So 4 ito. And then L001, which 01 is 3. So we have, okay, we have it here. And then 4 times 3 equals 12. And we store it to 0, 0. So the next partial product is 12. Okay, do you follow? And then the next thing to do is to compute the next multiplier. The previous multiplier, which is 3, we minus, and then we L001. And the decrement is 1. So 3 minus 1, which is 2. Okay, so the next multiplier is stored in 001. And then we have a CB8. Do you follow? What do we mean by CB8? Check if the run-up lever or the egress axis is set. Is it a set? Yes, it's still a 2.
Yes, sir.
2 pa rin, di ba? So we have to go back again. 8 counts. Count backward. No? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we are now in pass number 3.
Sir?
Yes?
Sir, so bali po, sir, mag-loop lang po siya hanggang maging
0.
0 na po siya.
Yes. Hanggang maging 0. Okay? That's what we mean by count if it's set. Because when we say set, none, 0 value. Okay? When we say reset, it's a 0 value. Do you follow? No? So jargon lang yan. Jargon lang yan. Pag sinasabi natin the value is a set, means non-zero. The value is a reset, the value is 0. Do you follow? It's a computer jargon. Set and reset. Okay? We'll have another topic, no? It's called set and reset flip-flops later in our course, no? Maybe in the second grading, no? So we will use the jargon again. So from now on, when we say set, we mean non-zero. When we say reset, we mean 0. Okay, computer jargon. Nothing ano, no? So in our third pass, the partial product is 12. The next multiplier is 2 and the decrement is 1. So the first step is to compute the next partial product. So the next partial product is 12 times 2, right? Kasi ito, so we load it from L00 and L001. So 12 times 2, it becomes 24. And we store it back to 0, 0. So 24. You follow? It's 24. And then the second step is compute the next multiplier. The current multiplier is 2. So we load it, L001, before a minus, no? And we loaded the decrement, which is 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. And we store it to the next value, which is 001. Do you follow? Now there's a CB8. What do you mean by CB? Check if it's a set. Is it a set?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
Set pa rin. One pa rin. Which means that we are going to repeat again. So nandito na naman tayo sa fourth step. Do you follow? Where our partial product is 24, our next multiplier is 1, our decrement is 1. We'll repeat the same process. 24 minus 1, 24. And then 1 minus 1 equals 0. The last value is 24, by the way, no? Okay. Okay. The last value is 24. It's the last partial product. Now, 1 minus 1 is a 0. And we store it here, so it becomes a 0. And then we have CB8. What do you mean by CB8? Check if the value is a set. Is it a set?
No.
Reset.
No, sir.
This time it's a reset.
Reset na siya.
Reset
Yes,
na siya.
sir.
So, ibig sabihin, hindi na siya it will not count backwards. It will proceed to the next. Okay? It will proceed to the next. We will load L002 into egress access 1 because we are just going to print the result. No? We have to do this. We do have to do a times L002 and L004 so that the egress axis becomes the final product, which is 24. No? We just have to multiply 24 by 1 so that it appears in the egress axis. Do you follow? Why do we have to multiply? So that the egress axis can be 24. And when we say print, what is printed? What is printed is 24. Printed to the next card. And then we ring a bell to wake up the sleeping operator or the sleeping programmer, and then we issue a halt. Do you follow?
Sir, can I ask? Napansin ko po, sir, every end of the loop or pass, meron na po siyang yung 1 and 24. So, nagtaka po ako, ano po yung nasa taas na 1 and 24 sa ingress axis 1, ingress axis 2, and egress axis.
Sa taas nito, this one? This is
Sa,
line 55.
sa pass 3, pass 2, pass 1, meron ding 1, 24. So, saan yan galing?
Asan yung 124?
Sa taas pa, sir. I think sa 49, sa 4950.
4950 ito?
Yes po. Saan po yan galing?
Wala ito. I'm sorry, no? Dapat wala pa ito.
Okay.
Wala pa ito. I'm sorry, no? Wala pa ito kasi hindi pa demand dito, no? This should not be there, no? Did I have it above?
Yes po.
Yes. So, dapat wala pa ito. Because I copied and pasted. Pag copy and paste na, no? You just have to remove this because this is not yet executed. Thank you, no? Because I copied and pasted. So, it was included. So, anyway, I'll update. I'll have to update my... I'll have to update the file. Okay. The fourth factorial, okay? I'm sorry, no, the Dagler is currently very slow, obviously. Dali lang, just a while, no? You have to be slow also, no? Because if you're not slow, you have to, yeah. All right. Okay, so I've updated the file now. I've updated the file, so the unnecessary things are, I removed the unnecessary things. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions? So you will have an assignment, no? Which you will do during the weekend or during your lab time on Friday.
Sir,
Yes.
ano po yung PBH?
Again?
Sa PBH sa program.
Means print.
I print, then yung B.
B means bell.
Ay, okay.
H means halt.
So, sa taas po, sir, dapat wala rin yung PBH. Kasi dapat sa
They're just blank. They're just actually blank. Kasi hindi ito ma-execute. In the previous passes, these lines are not executed.
Ay, okay.
Still part of the program.
Okay.
Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
They're still part of the program, but they're just not executed. Kasi babalik siya dito sa taas eh. It goes back to the top when you say CB8. But when you have a program, it doesn't mean that lines that are not executed are deleted, right? If you have a computer program, lines that are skipped are not deleted. They're just there. Okay. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have to repeat it there. Although when we go back, we have to go back on the correct line. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I have another example, no? Another example which is converting ano. Okay. Meters to feet. Okay. Meters to feet. You can download this. Let's download this. Okay. So from time to time, you will convert meters to feet, right? Because in Europe, they use feet. Ay, sa Europe ba? In the US, no? They use feet. In Europe, they use meters. Okay? Meters to feet. So, how do you compute meters to feet? Can we just Google that anyway? Google na lang natin, no? Meters to feet. Okay, so that's the multiplier. Times 3.28. 1 meter is equal to 3.28084 feet. Do you follow? Diba? So, meters to feet. So, for example, we want to convert 4 meters to feet. Okay? So, N00, this is the, N00 is the initial value in feet. In meters, no? Meters. This is the multiplier. Okay? Okay? Do you follow? We don't need actually this but we will store the final product here, no? Do you follow? Okay. So we have N004. So the next card is a times L00. L00 is 4 and L001 is 3.28. This one. And the result is 4 times 3.28 is 13.12. And we say S002. So it's here. Okay, and we can say print. Just P, no? Sorry. We need to have capital P. BH. PBH. I have to bold this. Bakit ba? Arial 14. Diyan ka lang i-bold. Do you follow? Okay. What's printed? 13.12, which means that 4 meters is equal to 13.12 feet. Do you follow?
Yes po, sir.
Meters to feet. Okay. Simple, no? Okay. There's another example. Celsius to Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit to Celsius. How do you compute Fahrenheit to Celsius? Let's Google that. Fahrenheit to Celsius, yes. Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay. So, F, subtract 32, no? F minus 32 times 5 over 9. That's the formula, okay? Do you follow? Okay, let's go to our downloads. Okay. So we are trying to convert 132 Fahrenheit to Celsius, no? Do you follow? So 132 is in 00. This is the Fahrenheit value. This is the multiplier. This is a divisor. Okay. Subtract, no, this is the difference. The quotient, paano ba? Subtrahend. This is the times, what is the formula? Let's 39 over 5 or 5 over 9?
5/9 po, sir.
5 over 9, okay. That's correct, no? So this is the multiplier. This is the divisor. Okay. Do you follow? So the first thing to do is subtract 32 from degrees Fahrenheit. Diba? So the first is a minus, which is L00, and L001 because 32 is there, and the egress axis is there. No. Now when we subtracted 32, we don't need 32 anymore, right? So we can replace it with the result. So nandito na yung 100. Okay. Do you follow? The result, we keep it in mind. So we keep it in mind. We say times L001. S001 is keeping it in mind. No? So 001 is 100 and 002 is 5. We multiply, we have 500. We keep it in mind also. 5 times 100 is 500. And then we divide 500 by 9. And the last result is this. And then we have P, B, H. Okay? We follow?
Sir, ang kung decimal ang final, sir, pwede siya pwede siya 2 decimals only, sir? Or lahat na lang decimal, sir?
Whatever Excel presents, it's okay, no? Because there's no documentation really on, because the original mill can only process fixed point arithmetic. It was documented there, no? Fixed points, yeah, but it didn't say how many decimal places. Do you follow?
Yes po, sir.
Kasi fixed point lang yung kaya ng ano, but it didn't say how many decimal places. Okay? So it's not an issue at all, no? Fahrenheit to Celsius, ano ba ito? Fahrenheit to Celsius, yes. We'll remove this. And then I'll copy this because we will upload, no? We will update our files, no? Okay. So let me update our files. Meters to feet. Okay. And then we have Celsius to Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit to Celsius. Sorry. There's a problem with Dagger, no? Pag mabagal and you click too fast, you have to repeat. Okay? Then go. Okay? Make sure nothing's happening yet. And then Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay, so you have the updated files there for your reference. Now I'm showing you that because I'm going to give you an assignment, no? Do you follow? Okay. By the way, have you seen your last meeting, the recordings, no? It's there. This is your class. This is the other two classes. Okay. Now the description of the programming exercise, it has to come before, no? This is the next programming exercise, the first programming exercise. This is where you submit. You submit an Excel file. Have you submitted an assignment in Moodle before? Everyone? Do you know how to submit an assignment?
Sir.
No?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you the deadline is on Monday, 12 noon. Okay. The problem with the new Moodle is it doesn't show the description of the assignment. So I have to show the description on a separate page. What is the assignment all about? You write a program to compute the sum of the first 4 numbers for the analytical engine. No loops ito, no? Do you follow? May mali pa. Sorry. Let me edit this first. There's a little mistake, no? You have to click slowly. No loops lang muna. The first four numbers, 1 to 4. For the analytical engine and give a trace using a Google Sheet. Excel na lang. Should be Excel. Excel lang tayo, no? And save to sheet 1, okay? And then Celsius to Fahrenheit. So without loop ito, no? Without loop. The sum of the first four numbers, okay? Let me save this. Okay. Okay, so let me open that now. So your problem will be to write a program for the analytical engine which will compute the sum of the first four numbers without a loop. Okay? Do you follow? And give it a trace, no? Using this example. Okay? Using this example. Give a trace using Excel sheets and save it to sheet 1. Do you follow? So if you know how to compute fourth factorial, you know how to compute sum. I don't have to expound on that, no? But you have to discover the trick. It's easy, no? Do you follow? We'll discuss that after you have submitted the assignment. Okay? Instead of computing the factorial, you just count the sum. I know there's a short formula here, but anyway, I'd like you to do it by individual counting. Okay? Any questions? Can you see that, no?
Yes po, sir.
Write a program to compute the sum of the first four numbers for the analytical engine and give a trace using Excel sheets and save to sheet 1. Okay? Any questions? Then write a program to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. So baliktad, no? The other way around. For the analytical engine and give a trace using, I'm sorry, no? Excel sheets pa rin. I'm sorry, we have to edit this again. And upload the worksheet, no? Where's that? No. Okay. Now, if I'm talking too fast, you tell me, no? You chat me. You send me a chat there. It's okay. So here it is, no? Celsius to Fahrenheit, the other way around, and you save it to sheet 2. The third is write a program to compute the average of the first three numbers. This time you compute, if you know how to compute the sum, then you know how to compute the average. Do you follow? And save it to sheet 3. Now, the next part is write a program to compute the average with loop. Okay? Of the first three numbers for the analytical engine. Okay, and give a trace using Excel sheets and save it to sheet 4. Do you follow? And then when you upload your file. You name your file as XR1, followed by your surname, first name, and middle initials. Do you follow? So that when I download it, I do not accidentally overwrite. No, I would like to avoid the accident where I overwrite the another's file. No, do you follow?
Yes po,
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir.
Sir, do you have a question po, sir?
Yes. What's the question?
Regarding sa number 3 and number 4, what are the first three numbers ang ginamin po? Any number po, sir, of our choice?
Numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. First natural numbers. First four numbers. First four integers.
Ano, for number 3 and 4 po, sir ba?
Oh, ganun pa rin, no? 1, 2, 3. The first three numbers. The first three integers.
Ang Celsius, sir, ilan pang ang i-convert na Celsius
Use
po, sir?
use any value you like.
Okay po, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now somebody wants to be walked through how to submit. Let's do that. Any other questions? Those who haven't submitted to Moodle. Okay. Let me shift. Let's go to this and then let me shift, no? Let me shift to, it's really very slow, no? Let me shift my role to student. So ganito yun. This is how it looks on your side, right? This is how it looks in your side. Now, if you have your worksheet ready and you want to submit, you just click this. Do you follow? No?
Yes, sir.
And then upload the file. Where's the file?
Hindi pa siya open, sir, kasi bukas pa siya ma-open, sir.
Yes. Let me open it first, no? Let me go back to my normal role. I-open ko na lang ngayon. You just drag a file anyway, no? What's day today? The day today 14. Okay. Yeah, i-open ko na lang ngayon, no? 14. Due date is July 19, no? 12 noon. Take note. That's for everyone. And then let me switch my role to student. Okay. You click this. Yes. Add submission, okay? They follow Amayan.
Yes, sir.
Click add submission. Nandito na pala yung description niya. I'll have to change this again. And then you drag the file. For example, you have a file here, like that, no? The correct file, you just drag it there like that. Okay? Amayan, did you see it? Armayan?
Yes, sir.
Drag it there and then click save changes. Okay? Nandito na.
Copy, sir. Thank you.
And then you click save changes. We have to edit this. Okay. That's the problem with the new Moodle. It doesn't appear when, it only appears, no? Kasi pag click mo dito, hindi siya lumabas, oh. Ano, it appears when it's open. I'm sorry, no? Okay lang pala, no? So let me have to go to, I have to go to my normal role. Turn editing on. Anyway, the description will repeat, no? It's okay. Just have to read it again. Okay. Do you follow? No? Okay. Any questions so far? So it's easy, no? So you don't have to worry. If you make a mistake, you email me. Okay? If you make a mistake in uploading, you email me, so I'll correct. I can unsubmit you, no? I can unsubmit your previous submissions. Okay? Do you follow?
Sir,
Yes,
I
sir.
have another
Yes.
question. Regarding is number 4, sir, diba? Compute the average of the first 3 digits man, sir, with a loop.
Yes.
So, pwede ba man, sir, no, na yung sa pag-addition, doon ka mag-loop, then tanggalin mo ang loop kung mag-divide ka na or something ba, sir? Tama, sir. Ganun ang gawin sa number 4.
No, to give you a hint, no? Diba na meron tayong time doon sa last nung ano? You will only do one division. And that's after the loop.
Yes, sir. That's what I meant, sir. So, ganyan ang gawin for number 4, sir.
Yes. You'll only do one division, and that's after the loop.
Sige po, sir. Thank you, sir.
And then there's a question by Labrador, no, in the forum section. Let me do that. Asan siya naglagay ng ano? Ano tayo? 4-100, 4-310 ba tayo? Wala.
301 po, sir.
Tier 1.
3 on ba? Sorry. Umagal, no? Questions about the nature of our class. I haven't explained this to you, no? But I have explained it in the other class. Can you look at the third session? Okay? In case, can you review this, ano? For the third, kasi na-explain ko ito. I have explained this to the 310 students, no? Ito, can you look at this, no? Tony, I've explained the whole, ano, but anyway,
Yes, sir.
I'll explain it again, okay? I'll explain it again. Okay. Okay. So, your final grade will be computed based on 2 assessments, no? There will be a final summative assessment, which is an exam and an online exam at the end, and a final summative performance assessment. What do we mean by performance? Something which is based on a programming project. Do you follow? So, in the end, at the end of our semester, I will be assigning you a programming project. It includes, no, a web page development, no, konting simple web page development. You're going to write a JavaScript program included in a web page. I think it's a payroll program, no? So I will take a portion of that, maybe 30% from the summative performance, and add 70% from your summative online test, okay, which will happen at the end of the semester, and that will be your final grade. Do you follow? Now, the summative online test is an online test, no? Do you follow? It's a test online on Daegler. Okay? Okay, that's the first question.
sir.
Is that okay, Labrador?
Yes, sir.
Now, the second question, what are the things we are to expect in our exams? Depending on the topic coverage, no? Like in this exam, in this before the first assessment, no, formative assessment, you will be writing programs. Okay? You will be solving problems. Do you follow? Math problems, because we will have digital numbers, we will be dealing with binary numbers. You will be writing programs, for example, for the IAS, for the analytical engine for the PDP-1 computer, for the 701 IBM 701 computer, things like that. No, you have to expect. You know how to write old programs. You know how to solve problems. Okay, and so on and so forth. No, most of the exams are, even if they are mathematical problems, will be multiple choice. No, of course the programming problems will be like essay type, but you will be required to upload a file, an Excel file. Do you follow? Because there are ways in Moodle where when you're asked a question, you will be required to upload your solution to that question. Okay. Anyway, if there's a question like that, I'm going to brief you on how to upload your solution. Do you follow? Is that okay? Did that satisfy your ano? What are the things
Yes.
you want to you expect in your exams?
Yes, sir.
You will have to write programs, solve problems, and solve problems. Okay. The grading system is base 40. So it's like score over items times 60 plus 40. Now, if you have been if you have been informed in your during your your uh, orientation, no, we cannot require attendance part as part of the grade because sometimes no, there are students who do not have access to internet. So that's the main reason why we are recording our sessions. Attendance is not part of the grade, but I will always check attendance because I will know it will give me it will inform me which students no are still attending classes, because in the end you will be required to collect exam permits. And how can we, one way no to verify whether a student is still will be paying is if he's still attending classes. How will we know that the student has dropped or not? Because there are students who will drop in the middle of the semester without informing the teachers. So I will always have to check your attendance every day, but they will not be included in your grades. No? So as long as there's a pandemic, you are not required to attend. But I always would like to encourage you to attend, although you can view our online sessions in YouTube. Do you understand my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have a fixed number of preparatory assessments this semester? Yes. At least one preparation. Before every exam, I'm going to give you a practice test. Do you follow? Before every
Yes.
exam, I'm going to give you a practice test. Something for you to study on your own. Labrador, did that answer your question? Your last
Yes,
question?
sir.
So
Yes,
don't
sir.
worry about the no, because every exam I'll give you pointers. I'll give you practice tests. Okay? So you will not be studying in the dark. Okay? In fact, if you look at our you will see portions for practice exercises, practice exams, no? Do you follow? Okay? You have a
Yes,
few
sir.
more
Thank you,
minutes.
sir.
So any more questions? We have a few more minutes. I'd like you to look at the descendants of the analytical engine. Okay? This is from Wikipedia. If you search no analytical engine, okay? This is descendants of Babbage's engine. No? The engines invented by Babbage are as follows. No? Chart Babbage. No? Bakit hindi magano? Okay. Can you still see? If you can you open your your own These are the inventions of Charles Babbage. No difference and analytical engine. There are 4 columns here. How many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. When was it first operational? The numerical system used, the computing mechanism, the generation, because computers are divided into generations. No? How programming is done, and Turing complete. What do we mean by Turing complete or Turing finite? No? A machine invented is considered to be Turing finite if its behavior can be fully modeled, which means that its behavior can be predicted. No? In case of a program, it's like a finite Turing machine or a Turing complete machine is like a computer program that has no bugs. Do you follow? When we say a Turing complete or Turing finite, we mean it is a complete machine from start to finish, and all the behaviors can be predicted. Okay, do you follow? So for example, the difference in engine is a decimal system, mechanical. It's not part of any generation because it's not a computer. Okay, and it's not Turing complete, which means it may not work properly because it's not finite. You know? The analytical engine is a decimal system. It was never built, only designed in 1837. It's mechanical, as you have seen, and it's not considered to be part of any generation because it was never assembled. And it's program controlled by punch cards using the Jacquard's loom. Is it Turing complete? Yes, which means it's a fully working machine. Si Alan Turing stated one of the most popular mathematicians, no, during World War II, no. Alan Turing defined this, no. And the memory is physical state wheels, no, yung mga gears, wheels and gears. Now another descendant was the analytical engine by Ludgate after the death of Charles Babbage. Ludgate tried to assemble, no, the design himself, but it was never built. Indeed, it was not successful. It's like the analytical engine, it's decimal, mechanical, controlled by punch cards, and instead of using it's state of rods. We are not familiar with that anymore. It's a dead technology. We will not discuss what state of rods are. Now, during the beginning of the Second World War, no, Konrad Zuse, no, a mathematician in Germany, no, tried to implement Charles Babbage's design. No? So this is Z1, the Zeus 1 computer. It's a mechanical computer like the analytical engine. Do you follow? 1939. This time this is binary. It's not decimal. It's mechanical. It's considered to be the first mechanical computer. Okay? Film based, no? Which means it's like tape, no? It's not Turing complete. So it was never, was it implemented? It was not. But the third version of Zeus became the first commercially available mechanical computer. Do you follow itong Zeus 3 by Conrad Zuse? The first commercially sold computer. No? Do you follow? Do you follow?
Yes, po, sir.
Okay, so 1943, bombed by Poland. No? It was not Turing complete. Zeus 2 during the 1940s is a binary floating point. It's electromechanical, and then it's not Turing complete. But Zeus 3 was considered to be Turing complete because it was sold commercially. ABC Atanasoff Berry by John Vincent Atanasoff and sino ito si Berry? In the US na ito, no? Now, during the 1900s, development in technology shifted from Europe to America. Do you follow? Why is that? Because America was the first democratic country. And when there's democracy, there's competition. And when there's competition, there's development. Now, unlike Europe, by then there were still monarchies, no? So the development after the Second World War, no? The development of technology shifted from Europe to the US. Okay, so hanggang 1942 hanggang ngayon until now, no? Technology in computing is still US is still a source of advancement of technology in computing. No? It's a binary computer, it's electronic, it's considered to be a first generation computer, but it was never used, no? Colossus Mark 1, no? Mark 1 is a mechanical computer. It's an electronic computer in the UK. Okay? And Harvard Mark 1, also a Mark 1, it's a different machine, no? It was invented by IBM, implement in Harvard University. It's a mechanical resemblance, no? It resembles, no? Of course, the Analytical Engine by Charles Babbage, no? It's program 24 controlled by 24 channel punch computers, no? Because IBM was already there. Remember, IBM invented the punch cards, no? Zeus 4. I'm sorry, maybe I was wrong, no? Zeus 4 is the first commercially. Mali. Can you check that, no? I think it's Zeus 4. Mali yata yung aking ano, Zeus 3 or Zeus 4. Yes, I'm sorry, no? It was not Zeus 3. It's Zeus 4, no? Z4 was the first commercial computer. I'm sorry, no? Mali, I made a mistake. Z4, but it's also by Conrad Zuse. It's after the war. And then ENIAC, the next computer which we will study, no, is ENIAC. It's developed in Penn State. No, it's a decimal computer. It's electronic and it's Turing complete. Vacuum tubes instead of gears. We will study this because this is the closest resemblance of the analytical engine invented in the US first. No, and then there's Manchester baby, no, from the UK. Okay, we'll just mention this, but the next computer which we will study is the ENIAC. Okay, any questions? We are beyond our schedule. Okay, so thanks for coming, everyone. Resolve your assignment. Okay.
Oh, sir.
Okay.
Ay,
Our
sir.
meeting is on Monday. Okay, yes.
Sir, pwede ko magpa-add sa Daigler, sir. Wala pa mga ko na-add.
What's your name?
Pulido po, sir.
Okay, yeah. I'm on the process of adding you. No, I have listed you down. Please
And
check again later.
about sa schedule po, sir, kay sa SIS na ko, TTH atong schedule. Every Wednesday, WF ta, sir. Or,
What's your section? For 100, 301, or 310?
wait.
You just stick to your schedule anyway. But if you want to attend other schedule, it's okay as long as you're in the list. Wala namang
Okay, sir. Meron man din good, ano, sir, ibang schedules na nag-overlap yung dalawang subject ko, sir, nag-overlap. So, sabi na kog na something wrong po sa ano.
You check that out, okay? Please check
Okay, sir.
the conflict of schedule, and then you attend where you're available. You just tell me
Okay,
when I
sir.
check the attendance, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Every Monday and Wednesday. Okay? We always meet every Monday and Wednesday. Same schedule.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll check. I'll fix your no. I'll fix your enrollment anyway. No. Any other questions? Okay. So thanks everyone. No. If you have late questions, you post it in the no in the forum. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
See you
sir.
next.
Nice.
Thank you,
Sir,
sir.
Okay.
Monday ang next meeting, sir.
Yes, every
Thank
Monday
you,
and Wednesday.
sir.
Sige, sige. Thank you, sir.
Okay.